go handle it. I thought we responded initially. Like, wow, we had them bam down the field. Like I said, we had a chance. There was a real marker in there when we had a chance. We went kicked the field goal and went 15-10, but it should have been 17 the other way around. We should have had it to 17-15. There was a marker in there that we needed to do that. And then of course, in addition to that, missing a field goal for us was another little blip. And then of course, coming out in the second half and just on both sides of the ball, we were non-productive, and that swung us a little deeper. So, it's funny how it goes. You can play the what-if game, but it doesn't do you any good. That's what I'm saying. It's a fine line in there. You don't give them the ball on a 6-yard line. You go down and score again. Where's your momentum now? What happens in that game now? Same game, same teams. What happens? You're not going to know, though. You're not going to know. So the moral of the story is adversity strikes. How do you handle it? How do you punch back? How do you find a way to get on top of it? That's what we need to develop as a football team. That's where we are right now. We need to do that. And now we're going on the road, playing a good football team at their home stadium. We've got to find a way to win.
That's what I was going to ask you about this football team. How scary is it going in or facing this team right now? I mean, all people know is they lost 62-6 to Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a phenomenal team. I mean, they're coming off of that victory just like you guys are. And I'm pretty sure their coach is challenging them as well. Like, you have to produce. And it's homecoming for them.
It's home.
You know?
Look at Toledo, came in here 1-3. But everyone knew they were really, you talk around the country to people, they all knew that was a bona fide football team now. Okay? But they're 1-3. I'm telling you, this team we're going to play, they're darn good now. That was Brady Hoke's, class of kids that are recruited that last championship year now. And Pete Lembo's a good football coach. And they've got a quarterback that might be a pro player. And so, they've got a couple of big wins, and they got a couple of big losses. But they played a couple of pretty good football teams. I mean, USF and Oklahoma aren't chump change here now. Okay, they're not. And I watched the games. I think they're a good football team, and I think they're motivated. But the MAC doesn't get enough respect because there's a lot of good football teams. I'll stack a lot of these teams up against a fair amount of BCS conference teams now. Don't kid yourself now. It's good football and tough football. You've got to be ready to play. If we go take care of our business, play hard, don't turn the ball over, we'll go out and play a great football game. We lay the football on the ground. I heard Frank Solich talk about it at Ohio. Same thing. They laid the football on the ground, and you're not going to win a tough football game if you turn it over on offense or if you let up big plays on defense. It's not going to happen. It's not a great mystery.
You talked about the quarterback. Other than the quarterback, do they have anyone else who stands out? I mean, you mentioned they have two big interior defensive linemen.
Their safety, Josh Howard. He is you'll notice, you'll see. Number 20. He's a real player now. He comes out of that safety position, and he will strike you. Okay, I think he's a dominant football player. He's like a linebacker coming out of the safety spot. I mean, he strikes guys. He's really good. Two inside guys are really tough football players, and I think they have, obviously other good talent. The other safety's a pretty good player too. He really is. And interiorly they're strong, very strong. Legitimately, I'm watching them against good people. They're good. They're solid guys now. So that's what they have on defense. And on offense, they got a really good quarterback with an experienced veteran offensive line. They got the pieces. They got the right pieces. You win the ball. It's all up front, right? And what do you need? You need to be good up front, both sides of the ball, and you need a quarterback that can make plays. Got it.
Not to single out any of your players, but for you guys to win, does one particular player have to step up and really have a phenomenal game?
I mean, your best players have to play great in big games. Having said that, it has to happen. But I think for me to tell you that on any offensive football team, quarterback's got to play well. Got to make the plays that are there to be made. And we have a very talented backfield. Those guys have got to produce. But for them to produce, you got to move them up front. And we've got to keep balance. We feel like we've got to throw the ball better, play action, because you've got to offset that run game to help that run game. You got to help that run game, and so What you don't want to do is, you want to be able to make the plays in the throw game that are available to be made, which we did again 2 weeks ago. We did that very efficiently. We didn't do that so efficiently for a host of reasons. I mean, a host of reasons. You've got to protect the quarterback better. You can't expect a quarterback to get hit in his chin so many times. It's not going to have an effect. Now it does on anybody. So, and I thought ours played really physically tough, but still took too many shots. So I think we got to keep balance. Keep balance.
Steve, how's your defense responding? Because anyway, going into the game, anywhere you look at it, to be ranked #1 in the country in scoring defense is a pretty impressive thing. I know they were put on short field a couple of times, but when they look at it, say, gave up 36 points. How have they responded in practice? And do you think it catches their attention when they look at Ball State and say they're perfect 19-19 in the red zone?
We didn't play well defensively at all last week. And they know, and they're not happy about it. So, short field, no short field. Second half of the game, that team came down, put the ball down the field house. And that's our bell cow. So that's our plan to win. It's the #1 thing, play great defense. We need to do that. We didn't do that. So that's got to happen. And we've got to play better. We just got to play better. We know it. We didn't hit our missed tackle. We had over 10 missed tackles in the game. And so, for us to win the game, or any good football team to win a game, to me, you got to play great on defense. Right there. I mean it. Like I'm so that is the Bible to Temple football, and you just follow that and see where we are at the end of the day. If we play great defense, win the turnover battle, we can run the football, score when we're in the red zone, and play great on special teams. We're going to win a lot of football games. When we don't, which in my opinion, right there, we didn't hit those. We're just not, you're not playing. And so our kids know that. So there's no, I know a lot of times people want to talk about offense a lot more, but our bell cow here is defense, and we have been outstanding. But we were not outstanding last week, nor were we on offense or special teams. Special teams, we gave up a touchdown. Special teams, that's not what we want to do, and we didn't create the explosives on special teams that is part of our plan to win. Block a punt, return a kickoff, return for a touchdown. That didn't happen. We didn't create those. And we know in our room that that's what we want to do. Our team knows that. So, those are the things, man. It's the development of a philosophy, a development of a program, and we're going to, there's a lot of ball ahead of us, and we're going to keep bringing this program up. It's all part of it.
Anthony Roby didn't look like he didn't play much. Was he dinged up, or was that just?
Yeah, I heard practice last week. Unfortunate.
How was he? Do you know how he's doing heading into this week, or?
I think well.
On the turnover on the punt, did Matt ever touch that ball? Did I hit the blocker?
It's hard, man. You watch that thing on slow-mo. There's a lot of different angles there, and it's hard. It's too hard. It's really too hard. It's too hard to tell. I mean, ultimately he did, for sure.
When it was on the ground.
Yeah, that's he did for sure. Trying to go in and get that ball. At that point, for sure that happened. We all you can see that pretty clearly. I think obviously what happened is what happened. It's not clear. We also know that we're going to make that's a poison call for us and get away. It's get away from that ball. It's not a ball we want to be near. And then it disengages the gunner control so that he gets out of there too. That was kind of a sinking, low, diving ball right there. And I'm not exactly where, it might have been like the 9-yard line-ish or something like that, where that actually happened. And that's kind of a dangerous kind of a area right there.
In hindsight, going forward, tell Matt to get everybody away from that ball. And let
that's what we do.
Take your chances.
That's what we do. Everybody get away from that ball. But when you're in there, you're trying to make a play. And that was all set up by the fact that we misstruck the ball in the kickoff, right? Our kicker's been out for the last 2 weeks, hasn't practiced one day, and
you mean on kickoff to that?
Our kickoff,
yeah.
We misstruck the ball, and we gave one of the top returners in the conference the ball on a soft. Looked like we didn't try to squib that now, and that was picked up and returned to like the 50. Now our defense went 3 and out. But they punted the ball and came down to the 9 and the fumble to the 6. And that's the plan to win, man. That's field position, and that was